Well, for more on how Africa is tackling ocean rights and regulations, we would like to bring in Rashid Sumaila. He's actually a professor and director of Fisheries Economics Research Unit at the University of British Columbia. Welcome to the broadcast, Rashid. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we just heard something in our previous report that said by the year 2050, there would be more plastic than fish in the ocean. Is that actually right?
Yeah, that is the estimate, the most up-to-date science. That's what it tells us. And this is really scary. It's scary to me in many ways because this plastic, they stay in the water forever, right? And they break into little microplastic that the fish see and think is algae. They eat them, they get polluted, and then they can pollute people when we eat the fish. So it's a huge problem. It affects the ecosystem and people.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know if you saw the photo, but there was this shot of this whale that had washed ashore that was actually full of plastic over the past week.
Oh yes, I've seen that, and it's really lots of plastic in there. You see all sorts of things from the cork of Coke bottles to straws, drinking straws, and so on and so forth. There are tons of things that get eaten by, especially large marine animals like that.
Describe for us the blue economy, what this actually is, and how important it is to Africa's economy.
See, if you look at it, you know, out of the 54 African countries, 38 are coastal. And there are 5 additional island states like the Seychelles. Mm-hmm. And Africa owns about 30 million square kilometers of ocean territory. So it's huge. And people depend on this a lot. I mean, we take a lot of fish out of the ocean. Our estimate is that Africa takes about 7 million tons of fish each year out of the ocean, which is actually the equivalent of 7 million cows in weight, mature cows, which is a lot of protein. It has consequences for food, for jobs, for income, and for security of the world, I tell you, because millions of young people depend on the ocean and fish to keep them busy, right? You know, an idle hand, we don't want that. And so it's a huge, important part of the whole economy. And like you said in the opening, there are lots of issues and problems with illegal fishing, piracy, and this lack of proper governance of the system. So that needs to be improved a lot through local African effort, but also in collaboration and cooperation with the larger world.
So you have the need for growth for these big corporations to grow, but then the fishermen also have to worry about their business. How do these two work together simultaneously?
You know, the way to do it, you know, in general, the way our economy globally is organized is we tend to feel that the bigger the better. Big is always better. But actually, economic theory doesn't say that. What we look for is the optimal size of things, not just the biggest size. So we have to find a way to balance small scale and large scale, for example, fishing. Mm-hmm. And the way to do it is to focus our policies such that we have these two things in focus, whatever we do. For example, if you want to give subsidies to the fishing sector, it's good to make sure that the bulk of it doesn't go to the large scale as it is now, and that it is fairly distributed and in a way that it doesn't encourage overfishing and overcapacity. So there is a lot of thinking that needs to be done in order to find this fine balance of the large and small scale.
Which countries, Rashid, in your opinion, are really making a great effort?
If you look at it, if we look regionally, the countries of the Benguela current large marine ecosystem, that is South Africa, Namibia, and Angola. That is the quietest part of the African Ocean in terms of illegal fishing and in terms of piracy. So these countries seem to be doing well. And it's good to kind of show the example and let the other regions and other countries to copy and replicate what is happening there.
Well, Rashid Sumaila, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.